to the nation. Crimson blood, no hesitation. Breaking news, recruiting buzz. If it's Bama, yeah, it's us. When the whistle blows, somebody ain't right. Flags are flying, man, they way offsides. Hot takes hitting like a goal line stand. Championship talk is the master plan. Cotton bringing fire, Jeff bringing facts. From Saturday nights to unhinged BAMs. Depth charts moving, portals spin. If it matters in Bama, we're dialed in. So lace them up, let the debate begin. No neutral zones, we cross the line to win. Crimson Tide talk, no place to hide. You're tuned in the way, yeah. Offside. Let's go. Offside. Let's go. Offside. Let's go. Yeah. From Tuscaloosa to the nation. Crimson blood, no hesitation. Breaking news, recruiting buzz. If it's Bama, yeah, it's us. When the whistle blows, somebody ain't right. Flags are flying, man, they way offsides. Hot takes hitting like a goal line stand. Championship talk is the master plan. Cotton bringing fire, Jeff bringing facts. From Saturday nights to unhinged BAMs. Depth charts moving, portals spin. If it matters in Bama, we're dialed in. So lace them up, let the debate begin. No neutral zones, we cross the line to win. Crimson Tide talk, no place to hide. You're tuned in the way, yeah. Offside. Let's go. Offside. Let's go.
Let's go. Happy Thursday night. Your work week is almost over. That must mean one thing, Jeff. It is time for a little way offsides, my guy.
A lot of way offsides.
A lot of way offsides. We got a lot to talk about. Thank you for those of you who are watching live, taking a break from the NCAA tournament to hang out with us. We wanted to keep our promise to go live on Thursday night, but here we are. NCAA tournament's going on, Jeff, man. How you feeling?
Duke should have lost today.
Should have lost.
Y'all, if that guy wouldn't have swept the leg on that fast break and crippled the that shooter for Siena, Duke's getting beat because that guy was lighting it up.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
He tweaked he got his ankle rolled up on that long play where that Duke player slipped and fell and rolled up his ankle, and then he couldn't shoot after that.
Well, there's some news. I imagine you probably haven't heard yet about Aiden Holloway. Am I right?
Something happened today?
No. Something happened this week, though.
I
will say
already knows about that.
Well, yeah, it's over in our X chat. It was leaked a few days ago. Honestly, a few days before this went mainstream, that Aiden Holloway was pulled over by the police and they were searching his vehicle. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, we get the news that police raided his apartment. Not just police, task force, found a little over 2 pounds of marijuana, and he is no longer on campus or with the program. Folks are panicking a little bit about this. I understand, but I wanted to get your initial thoughts.
Oh, you want mine? I mean,
yeah, of course.
What hasn't been said in the last few days? Just dumb decision, selfish decision. It's, he's not running a cocaine ring like was being run by a football player a few years ago, but
which one?
Exactly. I mean, it's in the great scheme of life, having a couple pounds of weed is really not the biggest deal in the world, but a law is a law, as silly as it is. But there's too much at risk here, too much at stake, especially right 5 days before you tip off in the first game of the tournament. I mean, come on, man.
Weird timing. Weird timing.
I mean,
Nate Oates today discussed what he's not going to discuss, basically, in that ultimately they're not going to really talk to it much. The team is prepared to move forward without Aiden Holloway. I'm with you, Jeff. I'm with you on, it kind of is what it is. It's not like he was out drunk driving or something like that. Of course, you got to look at there's intent to distribute, all that kind of stuff. But, I don't want to crucify the kid over 2 pounds of marijuana, and I know everybody's got their different opinions on the matter, and that's perfectly fine. But it'd be different if we were talking about heroin or, methamphetamine or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
something crazy. But it's just Alabama's late to the last to the table with stuff like this. And, just a dumb decision based on what what the laws are. And if they're on to you or whatever, and if they catch you with that kind of weight, you're going to get in trouble, even if harmless as it is. But you're going to get in trouble, so you got to be smarter than that, especially at this time of year. Just wait 3 weeks. If you're going to have to tote that weight around, just wait 3 weeks until you're clear of the tournament. I don't get the thought process sometimes with some of these young kids, but when you're 19, 20 years old, you think you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely, I did. I thought
we all did when we were that age.
King of the world. Well, before we get into tourney talk, let's go to the chat, Jeff. We've got our regulars are in. It is show day. The best day of the week.
It is show day, Kayla.
Willie Cam, thank you. Waaaay Offsides member.
Welcome back.
I got to say, Willie's a real one. Willie is always in the comment sections of shorts and uploads. So
appreciate you, Willie.
Big shout out to Willie. Steven, yo, what's up? Your boys are live. Lance, I'm happy you didn't forget to be
I'm glad
here.
Lance didn't forget.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
We need Lance to keep us on track.
Who else we got?
Brutally honest about if we're boring him or not.
Hang in there. What do you need?
Who else is in here? Do we put Steven up there? Yeah. J Rock City's in the mix. Been a minute, but he's back. What's up, Richard Early? Road Tide from Rome, Georgia. Of course, Jay Bake's in the mix.
Wait, hold on. What's going on with the IT stuff? Somebody tell me. They're making jokes. I wonder if audio or video is a problem. Somebody tell me in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if everything sounds good.
They're making jokes about you right now?
I guess. They do that all the time now.
No, before we started, I popped a message that said you're having tech difficulties.
Oh.
So that was before the show started.
Tracking. Agent, what's going on? Welcome in. Derek.
What's up, Agent? Good to see you, buddy.
Somebody did snitch. Bama girl, what's up? Got Saban Vickery.
Oh, we got a notification. So, hey, YouTube did something. Thank you.
So I learned something. I Bleed Crimson, what's up? Welcome in.
White dude. I is what I is, Lance.
So I learned something with YouTube. If you post more than 3 times a day, it'll only send out 3 notifications. So interesting. Lance, interestingly enough, Jeff actually is not a white dude. So it's a filter. It's a filter. Cat, what's going on? Welcome in.
Cat pool. I hadn't seen Cat in a while.
Yeah, Cat, what are you doing, man? Where you been? So, all right. I hope everybody's having a great week. Tourney basketball. Alabama draws a 4 seed. They're going to face off against Hofstra tomorrow. What's your outlook? What's your outlook, Jeff, without Aiden Holloway, realistically?
Well, I don't know much about Hofstra, but, we've dealt with things like this before. Football team, we've dealt with injuries before. All that just means is that that's an opportunity for somebody else to step up. We've got depth at that position. We've got versatility at that position. We can move some guys around. Jaleel Bethea is going to get some minutes, I think. Houston Mallett's going to be a really big key now, both emotionally as emotional leader of the team, but also on the score sheet because he's going to have to step up now. Lyndon Jemison's going to have to step up. Amari Allen's going to have to get a shot back. We're going to have to peel those 20 points we're losing from Aiden a little bit from everybody. Philon's going to have to elevate his game, but this is where guys make their mark is in the tournament. So if you've got a guy like Philon, he can make his mark in a tournament like this.
Yeah, and these lower seeds, if today's any evidence, these lower seeds aren't messing around. So a lot of close games. You brought up Duke. Vandy was close.
High Point took Wisconsin out.
Yeah, crazy. Blew my bracket day one. Just done. Shout out High Point.
High Point, North Carolina, small little town in North Carolina. Shout out.
There we go. That's who I'm looking forward to, Cat. Trelly,
yes,
man.
Trelly needs it. He had a scoreless in that Ole Miss game. We can't have that again.
Yeah, it was weird. Very weird.
If he has another game like that, we will be on the bus home.
So, chat, how are your brackets looking? I want to know how everybody's bracket. Jeff, I'm sure yours is screwed already. Mine's screwed already.
Man, I lost the TCU Ohio State. I lost that one.
Those are the two that got me.
Of course, I lost Wisconsin High Point. One bracket, I picked Troy to upset Nebraska. They lost by 30. Shout out to the Trojans.
So, let me ask you this, Jeff. What's your realistic, like, how far is Bama going in this thing? With the Aiden Holloway news, I had them going out maybe Elite Eight.
I have us losing to Michigan in the Sweet 16. I don't think that we can get by a team with that kind of size.
Yeah. They're last I checked.
Unless we go like 25 of 60 from three. You know, if we hit 25 or 28 threes, then that's a different story, but that's rare.
Kind of shoot like the BYU game last year.
And then we'll follow that up with a 3 for 30, guaranteed. If we have a hot shooting night like that, next game will be awful. You can guarantee that.
Oh yeah, that's what happened last year. But I mean, we ran into Duke. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, it was Duke. So what are you gonna do?
And they were better than we were. I mean, we gave them a little something for a while, but they were better than we were.
Sure. Roll Tide, fellas. Hope you're doing well.
Herb, Raj, roll Tide, brother.
And we love you. Hashtag no.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah. Love you. Jeff, before we go on, J-Rock, I think Wisconsin got a lot of people knocked out today. That's who busted mine. I did get TCU, but Ohio State and Wisconsin kind of blew.
I only had Wisconsin winning once. I had Arkansas beating them in the next game. Did Arkansas won today, right? They beat Hawaii?
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. So
somebody that tweet I sent you, Cotton, had me belly laughing. That Chris Marler tweet.
Yeah, that one's good.
Y'all go search X for Chris Marler and see that tweet.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That he put with that video of practice. Oh my gosh, died. I was coughing.
Well, before we get too far into the show, we got a lot of football to talk tonight. I would like to go ahead and just do our weekly awards. Are you cool with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to bring up Viewer of the Week. Jeff, drum roll, please. All right, our Viewer of the Week is Kenneth Wilson. Congratulations. Your check is in the mail. Just kidding. You win absolutely nothing except our respect and love and adoration.
And
all right,
got it, pal.
Yeah. All right. Certified Ball Knower of the Week. This goes to our member. Boom. There we go. Robbie Eversole.
Robbie.
Congratulations for being named Certified Ball Knower of the Week. This goes to our Member of the Week. If you would like to be up for nomination for these awards, for Certified Ball Knower of the Week, you need to be a Waaaay Offsides official insider. You can do that via the link in the chat. I'll drop it again for you. But any other way, you just simply interact on YouTube. Super simple, I promise. Okay. But congratulations to our winners this week. Thank you guys.
Thank you
for
guys.
your continued support of the channel. You're the real MVPs.
We appreciate you.
The real MVPs. All right, let's talk some spring football, man. Seen a lot of talk about running backs over the last 24 hours. Clint was talking about it earlier on a live, which, by the way, Jeff doesn't even know this yet, but you guys love when Clint Lamb's on the show. You were super hyped when Landon Tingwall was on the show. What if I told you that they're both going to be on the show at the same time next week? That's right. Jeff and I have accomplished the impossible. They'll both be live with us next Thursday night, so make sure you set an alarm, turn your notifications on so you don't miss it. We're going to talk some spring ball, offensive line.
That's going to be basically Cott and I will just step out of the way.
Yeah.
We'll start the show, and then he and I will go fix dinner. We'll grab something to eat, have a smoke.
Yeah. With Aiden Holloway.
Yeah. go empty the dishwasher or whatever, pop back in, see if they're still talking back,
Yeah, Waaaay Offsides will belong to them next Thursday night, which is fine with me. We still get paid. So anyway, all right. So running backs, I had some thoughts on this. Alabama returns a few guys. Obviously, they lose Richard Young, Jam Miller. you bring back AK Deer. You're going to bring back Daniel Hill, and you're going to bring back Kevin Riley. Get a couple of additions. But overall, I'm saying on social media, there's not a lot of hype. There's not a lot of faith in the running backs. And I think some of that is because Alabama didn't change up running back coaches. Jeff, how much of what you saw with Alabama's inability to run last year was on the running backs as opposed to the offensive line?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. You know, because there's the three main positions to have a successful running game.
Stop reading the chat.
Well, you got to have good physical receivers. You got to have offensive linemen, physical point. You have running backs that can read and react and see holes. But our running backs couldn't do any of that. There weren't any holes to see really off of a single running play. But I mean, I'm going probably 33%. I'm going to split it a third between
you put a number
receiver
on it.
blocking, O-line, running backs. I say, I'll say 33% went on the running backs.
Yeah. I'm wondering, to me, so the question that got posed, and I believe it was by JT and the guys over at Talking Bama, was they felt like it wasn't going to be a community effort at running back, I should say. Basically, they felt like Alabama was going to go with a guy, and they were trying to guess who that guy was. A lot of them were saying it was going to be AK Deer, EJ Crowell. Not saying that can't happen, but this running back by committee idea, I think that's basically what we're going to see. The staff has given us no indication that they're going to pick a guy and ride that guy, all the way through the season. But really, realistically, out of those three returners, who's the guy for you that you're looking at going into 2026?
AK Deer is really who I'm most excited about.
Okay.
Just because of his explosiveness and the little flash we saw last year wasn't much, but it was something.
Yeah.
And it showed us a flash of something that's in there. So the explosiveness of AK is what I'm really the most excited about. But I think Clint said it best when he was like, there's really not going to be an RB1. It's kind of going to be, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little of this, a little of that. It's going to kind of be a collective work.
Yeah.
But I think Daniel Hill will probably be RB1, like Austin Mack is QB1 for that first opening series. My bet's on Austin Mack at quarterback and Daniel Hill starting at running back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think that's going to be a true running back one thing, though. Like you said, they're not going to name a starting running back. We're going to keep trying guys until somebody kind of hits the mark, because nobody has. And obviously, to echo Clint's sentiments from his video, and because I agree with him, Alabama was looking in the portal for a guy who could bring that to the team in Hollywood Smothers, Raleek Brown. Missed out on both of those guys. But I think Daniel Hill is exciting to me because of the weight loss. I don't know that my initial thought was that he was going to be kind of situational. I think that's what everybody thinks. But Daniel Hill, towards the end of the season, was probably the most productive back for Alabama. But AK Deer, there's something about him. I think it was Clint again who pointed out that he had 19 carries in 2025 and had 6 missed tackles on 19 carries. That's a very small portion of performance, but that's a really good indicator of what he's able to do.
It's in there.
Right. It's there. It's there. With Daniel Hill, it remains to be seen if he's going to be more agile laterally. I think for him, that's it, right? If Daniel Hill can move laterally, then all of a sudden it kind of changes the perspective of what Alabama brings to the table via the running back room. Kevin Riley, I felt like he popped early on.
Yeah.
Right. And then he just kind of went missing, of course, and he got injured. But Kevin Riley, if he kind of reminded me of Bo Scarborough. If he got touched, he was down on the ground. And so you kind of had
got me nuts about.
I know you kind of had a plus and a negative about each guy. And I think in that room of returners, now we're not talking about EJ Crowell yet, but we're going to get there. But in that room of returners, AK Deer seems to me like he's the guy that's got the juice to kind of do all of it, hopefully. And a lot of that's going to depend on his ability to run block, things like that. That's going to be a huge portion of this. But I want to see what chat's got to say about it because I'm sure they have a lot. That's right, Agent. Tell him hit that.
I don't know, Lance. He's got a way to go to get into circle buttons category.
As soon as we're getting blown up in the backfield. Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'd split it down the middle and say they each have, like, take half the blame. Sure, I would too. No fullbacks at running back one. Let's see what Army's got to say. If Grubb doesn't improve this year, I'm demoting him to wearing the big Al costume. I'm
if
down
he doesn't
for
improve
that.
this year, you won't have to worry about what he's doing because he ain't going to be around here.
Yeah. Kevin Riley does nothing for me. I understand, Lance, why you're saying this completely. I just felt like early on, man, he kind of added a spark. When Jam Miller was out, Kevin Riley definitely added a spark to the offense, and then he just went MIA. And I think that's why, because Alabama was trying the running back, different running backs, trying to find somebody who could give them everything they want at that position. That's why they're saying that folks think that Alabama's going to go with like one true back like they traditionally do. I don't know that that's going to be the case.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I
but
don't.
Riley's decline kind of matched the rest of the offense's decline. When injuries started mounting up, they started playing more musical chairs with these linemen. Tape is, each week more tape gets out, more things the other teams can prepare for, and you could just Riley's decline kind of went right along with that, and then he got dinged up and lost a lot of reps, and it was just a kind of a washout after that.
Sure, yeah, no, I agree with you. And he just never really got back to it.
Yeah, he lost some of that explosiveness he had early in the season he was slipping through some of those holes,
right? Exactly.
Which is how he was getting carries. He was taking advantage of his time.
Yeah, and then it just faded away, man. All right, Kat says, do you think Hill dropping a little weight helps? Absolutely, I think it does. We've seen a little bit of footage out of spring of him kind of dancing around, and that's exciting. But that's a lot different than real game activity. How he's going to be able to move laterally in a real game. I don't know yet. I got to see that. But I'm telling you, I think if Daniel Hill can move laterally, if that weight has made him more agile, yeah, it's going to be big for him. It's going to be big for Alabama's running game. And Daniel Hill will likely get the bulk of the carries. Now, saying all of that, to Ken the Bama fans comment right here, AK was impressive, but Kroll is something we haven't seen in some time. I agree with this 100%. And this is the other side of that argument that people think EJ Kroll is going to come in and end up being running back one. I would say pump the brakes on that. There's a lot this kid's got to come in and learn how to do at Alabama. And there's guys who are in front of him who are much more ready to play the position in its entirety than EJ Kroll. But in terms of an explosive playmaker who can do all the things with the football in his hand, Kroll's the guy. The more I watch that kid, the more I watch his high school tape, he's the guy. And Ken the Bama fan's right. He's going to bring something to the table that Alabama hasn't had in a long time. And that's very exciting to me. But the question becomes, how much opportunity does he get realistically, Jeff, in 2026?
I think he's going to get as much of an opportunity as anybody. I mean, there's no reason why the best players should not play at this point. There's no reason why, if EJ Crowell is showing out in practice and is showing out early in his reps and picking up things, there's no reason why he should not get the bulk of the carries if he has shown that he can pick up the blitz protection, can pick up the right guy. That was a problem last year too, was not picking up the right guy on the blitz.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into. Remember that story about Derrick Henry? He comes into Alabama having rushed for 5,000 yards his senior year of high school alone, and had no idea how to play the position. That story of him telling them, fussing at him in practice, telling him to do X, Y, Z, and he told Saban, I don't know what they're talking about. All I did in high school is they just turned and tossed me the ball and said, run. And so it's a learning, it's not just running the ball. There's a whole learning curve to be able to be an effective running back at this level. Yeah.
And you're 100% right. But I understand. And you said this at some point, Jeff. I think we as Alabama fans are still struggling with letting go of what was And that goes all the way down to like the structure of the team. Like ingrained inside of us somewhere, we want a running back 1 named, we want a running back 2 named. We want them in order. We want running back 1 to get the majority of the carries. We want running back 2 to come in when Alabama's up 42-7 and just suck the soul out of somebody. Pause again. But you know what I mean, right? You get what I'm saying. But that's just not this offense. Am I wrong in saying that?
Well, it's just not the way of the college football world anymore. I mean, how many 42-7 games do you see us in next? There are not going to be many. Any real games. We're going to be in some scrub games that are going to get like that. But
yeah,
DeBoer doesn't get in many 40-something to 7 games against. He's more the 1-score guy.
I see a lot of people comparing. Are they comparing Daniel Hill to Eddie Lacy?
They can't be doing that in all seriousness.
No.
That's very disrespectful to Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
Who I maintain, hear me out, who I maintain that 2012 year, I'm not saying as a whole career, but that one vacuum in 2012 is one of the top 3 seasons in running backs in Alabama.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
He was a beast that year.
Absolutely.
Him and Yeldon both, but Eddie Lacy towards the end of that year took the games over. That SEC championship game we were losing, go back and watch the second half of that game. That is Eddie Lacy all day long in that second half.
Yeah, that national title game, man.
That wasn't even fair. They should have taken him off the field right there and said, you can't play it's not fair. So if Daniel Hill can get a semblance of that, if he can have quick feet like that and be that light on his feet and with that kind of burst and speed, ooh, Lord of mercy. We're going to have fun next year if Daniel Hill comes out running like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a side.
No, you're fine. You're allowed to. You're allowed to.
2012 SEC championship game, but
no worries.
Y'all remember that game? It was 21-10 Georgia, and we're all on the teetering on the edge of a breakdown.
Yeah, they remember.
Agent, you're right. Double spin, baby. They didn't want no part of that.
Yeah, so I think anybody telling you that Alabama's going to name a starting running back is not reading the entire picture. They're not following what the staff actually does, how they operate. And maybe I'm not saying that they won't do it. Like to Jeff's point, there will be a running back 1, but it's not going to be a named starter. And Alabama will go with running back by committee most likely, because we do want to see what EJ Crowell can do in live action, right? We do want to see what he can do in week 1 and week 2. And maybe he does earn more reps. Maybe it does end up being AK Deer and Xavier Crowell. Maybe it does end up being more situational, especially with injuries and things like that. It seems like injuries are a bigger problem than they ever have been for Alabama. And so, understanding your personnel and that you've got guys who can all cover down is very important. So, excuse me, man.
But they all have to, it's got to be a committee approach, especially in this day and age. So I'm
agreed. I agree with this.
It's going to be an intriguing battle.
I agree with that 100%. Oh, all right. Hey guys, it's been a tough week on YouTube. As the football season ends, content gets a little harder to get out there because not a lot of people are watching YouTube, but a lot of you have done a great job of pushing content out for us. I just wanted to stop and say thank you. But for those of you who are new here and part of the family, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a big thumbs up in the comment, especially if you're not watching this live with us. We do lives every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. But to those of you who are here every week, we love you.
Remember, there's 4 A's. Tell
Just
them, Skip.
Waaaay, this is all caps, Waaaay, Waaaay.
That's right. Your check's in the mail, Skip. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right.
Skip.
Jeff, man, there's been some footage. Alabama's on spring break right now, but they're going to get back to it here real soon, leading up to A-Day, which everybody's super excited about. It's going to be the traditional format. But, man, there's been a couple of freshmen that are really catching people's eyes and are really popping in spring practice so far. And I get it. We're talking about practice. That's all we've got to go on. So dadgummit, we're going to talk about
That's
it.
all we got.
But
it's just something.
Out of the freshmen who are kind of up front in your face right now, who is a guy that's kind of standing out to you? It could be, I mean, just pure body size, anything you've seen online. Who's the guy? Chat, who's your guy right now?
Well, offensively, I'm going CD Morgan, obviously. He looks like he's been in college for 3 years. Just his size and alone is just very intimidating. I think staring across from him. Defensively, I'm really intrigued about Jair Edwards and our man Zay Griffin. Zay going up there, I was worried he was a little light in terms of weight. So I was like, maybe it'll take him, a little while to get his body weight up, whatever. No. Mama Clay confirmed that he's doing just fine, and I think that kid's gonna have every opportunity to knock somebody's block off and really solidify himself as a player.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they use Xavier Griffin. But really, for me, the freshmen that are really popping off is, of course, everybody's talking about EJ Crowell. I think that he is going to be a significant part of this offense at some point in time early on in 2026, because he brings with him that kind of swag that we're used to having at the running back position. He provides what this coaching staff was going to the portal to try to find with Hollywood Smothers, right? But dude, Jair freaking Edwards, that guy looks like he has been playing linebacker at Alabama for 2 or 3 seasons. I am extremely interested to see how Kane Womack uses him. Do they use him? I mean, is he going to play true safety? Is he going to play Husky? We have no idea. I believe he's been playing with the true safeties in spring a little bit. I'm not sure if he's gotten a ton of reps at Husky. Be interesting, because I don't know that at the safety position, just thinking about it off the top of my head, if there's a clear path for him to get significant time. But Sadarian Morgan is the other guy. That's the other guy that's really popping off. A lot of people comparing him to Julio Jones. You know how I feel about that. Pump the brakes. I get it. He's wearing number 8 on his chest, but let's slow down. But I think with Alabama's wide receiving room, Sadarian Morgan is going to see very significant playing time in 2026. Right or wrong?
I agree. I think you are 100% right.
Okay.
100% right. He's too good, too talented to keep on the sideline. I mean, he's not getting any better on the sideline. He's got to get reps. He's got to play. And you can't keep a guy like that on the sideline watching. Yeah,
I agree with you. And I just, Alabama's wide receiving room, we don't know who the starters are going to be per se. Of course, like everything else with Alabama, it's going to be a rotational group. You're going to see a lot of names, but you can go ahead and assume Ryan Coleman-Williams is going to be one of the guys. Latsier Brooks is probably going to be one of the guys. If practice is any indication, it'll either be Noah Rogers or Rico Scott even. But then you put CD Morgan in that group, and he brings that size with him, right? How big is he? I'm going to
6'4",
something like that. I'm going to look it up because I'll make sure I say the right thing. Yeah, 6'4", listed at 210. Oh, 223. Is that right? There's no way that's right. Yes, Alabama has him listed at 223, 6'4". Bonkers.
That's nuts. Kid was in high school last year.
That's bonkers, dude. That's bonkers.
These kids lining up from this dude last year, like, what?
Ooh, good question, Ken. No, I don't think he gets in over Noah Rogers. But he is going to be extremely valuable, especially in the red zone. Once the field shrinks, I think he is going to earn himself, much like we saw with Latsier Brooks last season. He's going to be that kind of guy that we can kind of trust and, I guess, hype up safely, that he'll make the most of his opportunities. Yeah. But Noah Rogers just has too much experience right now to say that he wouldn't play over Cedarian Morgan. And again, much like the running backs that we're talking about, we got to take into account how aggressive are they when they're blocking, things like that. Derek Nix is going to want to see that. Wide receivers didn't block to save their lives last year. Looking at you, Isaiah Horton. Looking at you, sir. Ryan Williams did a couple. Ryan Williams tried. He tried.
Yes, he did try.
He absolutely tried.
But there wasn't a lot of physicality coming from those receivers. We're speaking of running backs, accustomed to seeing these kind of running backs. We were accustomed to seeing wide receivers built by Bama busting you up down the field.
Yeah.
That great video that the unofficial UA coaches did of Jerry Jeudy against LSU, where they slowed it down and he was juking out like 9 LSU players, and Ruggs has like a clean out block where he takes like 3 guys out. They're 30 yards down the field, and Ruggs takes like 2 or 3 LSU guys out with just a sweet block. And it's like, man, that's what we hadn't seen in a couple of years.
No, I need that John Mechie laying out the Florida DB mentality from
that was just beautiful.
That's what I need, right? That's what I need.
Beautiful.
That's what butters my biscuits.
So if we have somebody, I don't know, we may have somebody up there now, but we hadn't had anybody like that last couple of years. I think would have maybe Jeremy would have chinned you right there like Mechie did.
Maybe. I felt like we were missing that real big physical wide receiver last year. I thought Isaiah Horton was going to be the guy, and it just never really accomplished it.
As good as Isaiah was last year, he was not a physical wide receiver that I remember a ton of.
Yeah.
But made clutch plays. Was a great player for us, but was not a very physical matchup.
That's what's exciting about Cedarian Morgan. He brings that to the table, and that's why I do think he'll be one of these freshmen that comes in and gets a significant amount of playing time this season. I think Xavier Griffin can definitely earn significant playing time. We talked about EJ Crowell. I think before it's over with, he's going to be definitely a dependable rotational option at running back. And then Jair Edwards, depending on what they do with him, will be very, very interesting as well. Is there anybody I'm missing, chat? Anybody freshman wise you're excited to see? There's one guy who you're not going to see a lot of this year, but when he does get his chance, it's going to be amazing. And I've got a video queued up here of him. Have you guys seen this? Check this out really quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to play it one more time for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you don't
lie, him doing that pass with that Busta Rhymes music in the soft in the background was even added to it.
I know. For those of you who don't know, that is now former 5-star quarterback Jet Tamala, who Jeff and I had the pleasure to interview a few months back before he committed to Alabama.
Live arm
on the show. And I know a lot of you are like, that's not impressive. I thought it was fun, to say the least, right? I thought it was a good time.
Cat.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Cat.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get dadgummit. I didn't think about that.
Johnny Manziel wished he could throw like that. He never had an arm like that.
But I just thought
that was a bad dude, though.
Yeah, he was. Jet Tamala, man, is a guy that nobody's talking about. And I do not think he's going to push Keelan Russell or Austin Mack for a starting quarterback
I don't
position.
think so. Not this year.
But he's going to be the kind of guy in that locker room, man, that is going to push both of those dudes to be so much better. So much better. And I'm really excited and just honestly grateful.
So pumped about this kid
that he came to Alabama. He's a freshman I'm really excited about just for that reason. Jeff and I mean, he is a spectacular young man. If you haven't watched the interview we did with him, it's on the channel. You can watch it when we're done here. But absolutely just spectacular young man.
He looked at the quarterback room and said, that's where I want to go.
Yeah. It's very impressive.
I'm going to have to grind my way up. But and they've got these other 2 guys that are one's coming in and one's about to come in. So we're gonna have 5-star quarterbacks in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, that's where I want to go.
Absolutely. Another guy. This is a good one, Jay Money. Matt Sutter is going to be very, very interesting too. I noticed on some of the spring footage, his route running looked really good for his size. I'm not exactly sure how Alabama's going to use him because I think Josh Ford's going to end up being that primary guy. But Max Sutter is definitely a dude who can come in early and contribute. Again, much like everybody else, it comes down to doing the other things outside of catching the football correctly.
Bingo.
If he can do that, he'll definitely see the field and contribute very early too. I agree with you. That's a good one. Very good one.
Man, that's a position that you can do so much offensively if you utilize tight ends right.
Oh yeah, definitely. And with Richard Owens coming in with these kids, hopefully feeding off of what Adrian Clem is doing along the offensive line and kind of adjusting the mentality, right? Adjusting the mindset and the work ethic of these tight ends. There's reason to be hopeful that it does look better all the way around, right? I want to see it first, but there's reason to be excited about it and to have some faith in the fact that Alabama could run the football better. They could it just looks so uneasy all the time offensively the last 2 seasons that it could just look more fluid. And I'm excited about that potential.
Me too. That's very well said. The fluidity of it seems to have been lacking the last couple of years. And that's understandable. You know, you're mixing and matching types of players, mixing and matching rosters still. If you can't run the football, you're not going to do anything. You've said it multiple times in some of your long form videos that, I mean, Ty Simpson was basically out to the wolves the last half of the season last year.
Yeah.
The fact that he finished the season at all in one piece, which he didn't finish the Indiana game. But he probably shouldn't have even played that game, for being honest. If you would have seen the litany of injuries he had, he probably shouldn't have even played that game. But just give him a hint of a running game, and Ty Simpson's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Oh no, I agree with you. And I think that if that happens, Bama's probably the outlook for 2026 is a lot different. They're probably playing for a national title. I've said that several times, and I'll stand behind it. Alabama was a run game removed from playing for a national championship last season.
I mean, everybody that wants to kick dirt on DeBoer's grave, look what the man did without a running game. He somehow cobbled together 8 wins or 11 wins and a playoff win on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, what other team is doing that? What's Mendoza and Indiana going to do if they cannot run the football at all? What does that team do? What does any of these teams do?
No,
the rest of them win 11 games?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. That was the difference. That was the thing that really brought, that was the demise. Kalen DeBoer could have won a national title last season.
He could have.
And a lot of people want him fired because Alabama could.
As poor as the offensive line was. But if that just improves just enough, if the running backs, you know, if Jam Miller doesn't get dinged in that Missouri game when he was playing so well, and who knows, maybe that turned his season sideways. But just there's so many what ifs. I hate playing the what if game too, but
yeah, but I mean it's true though. I mean, really,
look what this team did and could not run the football a lick. Exactly. Not even a smidge.
I'm with you. Yeah, so I think it's fair to think about like what realistically would have been the outcome considering they could have. And again, I feel like I said this 1,000 times. They don't have to run the football 200 yards a game.
No,
just enough to complement what your quarterback's doing. That's why I'm really excited about EJ Crowell. That's why I thought Adrian Clem was the right choice to come in and address this mentality. Because he's come in, if you haven't watched his Yale Alabama interview, go watch it. He discusses, and we're going to talk more about this next week with Landon and Clint on the show with us. But he discusses like the mentality, the little things in that sometimes you can be the right size, but if you don't have it up here, along that offensive line more than any other position, if you don't have it up here, you're going to get your ass whipped, you know, every snap. And I think he's right. I think that's what we saw. And so I'm excited about Adrian Clem. I'm excited about these young guys. That's why I really like the potential along this offensive line. There's a lot of youth, just like everywhere else on the team. But with that youth, it means they're moldable.
Yeah.
Same thing with the wide receiving room. Same thing with the tight end. Same thing with the linebacker. Same thing with the D-line. Same thing with the running back. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Me too. And shout out to Debo. He made staff changes. He made personnel changes. He is doing what you would do when you try to make something better.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows he couldn't run it back. He knew very well by the end of that game. You heard him in the post game after that Indiana loss. You got to surround yourself with the right people, right players. So you knew change was coming.
Yeah. Hunter, just run enough to make those linebackers step up and open up lanes for your speed and hand guys. I agree. I went back and watched some of Alabama's late SEC games, and it was kind of crazy, man, because you would see as soon as the ball was snapped, those linebackers were bailing out. There was zero respect for Alabama to be able to run the football. And I mean, same thing in the Rose Bowl. Indiana was doing it too. I remember telling Jeff, it's like they know exactly what we're about to do every play. And basically they did, because defensive coordinators figured it out. Like, they can't run the football. Historically bad. They can't run the football. Awful. Let's drop everybody into coverage and then send an extra guy after Ty Simpson every play, because they can't consistently block the rusher either. But
it was just brutal.
To stay within the confines of the segment, freshman starters, I really do think there is some talent. Now, it may not look great still in 2026, but I do have faith in 2027. I really, really do. A lot of fans are going to wash their hands of Kalen DeBoer if he doesn't make a playoff in 2026. Yes, and I think they're wrong. I do think they're wrong.
You got a fortunate mindset.
Yeah. You got now, if the transfer portal opens up and he loses everything, then obviously we've got a problem. But not saying that Alabama there shouldn't be any pressure if he loses 4 games. Like, it's because there absolutely should be. Mm-hmm. But I think the perspective and understanding that now you've got the base unit, you've got those young guys in there, you've got, amazing freshmen coming in. They're still recruiting their ass off. We're going to talk recruiting in a second. If the staff can mold those guys, keep them on campus, which a lot of the indication from recruits' moms that Jeff and I, our family that we've talked to, is that is what the staff is focused on. If they can do that, 2027 is looking really, really good for Alabama. Really, really.
Not only them, but former players now are coming out and complimenting the atmosphere that they've grown there.
Yeah, Marlon Humphrey did this week.
Absolutely. And Marlon Humphrey, if you remember, took a lot of crap when Saban retired, because he put a post out there that said he'd have hit the portal before Saban got out of the parking lot, had Saban retired while he was still there. So he took a lot of crap for that. But so kudos to him for coming back around and saying, hey, man, they're doing it right here.
Absolutely.
Even Ty Simpson on the way out was like, hey, man, don't wait till it's too late to get on board. This is the guy. Support him now. Like, let's go.
I agree. All right, Jeff, for the sake of time, we got to talk some recruiting. And I know you hate talking recruiting, but we have a brand new official for 2026 Whoop board. Jeff, do you want to tell everybody what the Whoop board is for me?
So the Whoop board is our Waaaay Offsides official prediction board. This is where we list our these are in confidence order, or is this just a numbered list?
It's just as they were made.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we get names on this list, they go in here. So it's not like Elijah Havens, our number 1 prediction. It's just, he's just first on the list. So, but this is the Whoop board. We just put names up here where predictions that we think that are going to land at Alabama. We've had a pretty good track record, honestly. Our last couple of Whoop boards, we've actually done pretty well. So we like to bring this up every year. It's just a little fun thing to do where we get to predict which recruits we think are coming to Alabama. Yeah. These can change weekly, change daily, really.
They will. They absolutely will.
This thing will look way different by the time all this dust settles here. So
sure.
But we like to have fun with it. Plus, I like the chalkboard look.
Absolutely. And just for clarity, these predictions are made with several different things. A lot of it is based heavily on what's going on in the news regarding these recruits. Like, Jeff and I aren't insiders. We do talk to recruits at certain points in time. Not everybody. You've seen it. We've had them on the show. But we try not to pick at them too much about where they're going to commit.
Yeah.
And so we really rely heavily on guys that are doing a lot of the legwork. Andrew Bone, Brett Greenberg, those guys. Absolutely fantastic individuals. So this is all general knowledge. I don't think anything's that we're about to say.
We're not insiders. It's not like we have a line to this guy's dad or uncle that's telling us where he's going to go. Nothing like that. We're just We're just reading. We're going by hearsay. What Bone says.
I'll be 100% honest with you guys with Xavier Griffin. So we had Xavier Griffin on last year and his mom before he committed. And Jeff and I felt confident that Bama was going to be the pick. He had just decommitted from USC. We felt confident, but at no point in time did Jay or Xavier tell us that's where he was going. But we felt confident enough to go ahead and do we set up a post-commitment live with him. And so a little bit of a gamble, but
they came on. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they just shot on right after he committed to Alabama with us.
Great. So, they were having a party too.
Not trying to name drop, just trying to explain I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that call themselves insiders, and there's a lot of accounts that are pushing out information other people have worked their butts off to get without giving it proper credit. I'm just trying to make sure we do that. Full 100% transparency. When I first started this, I used to do the same thing. Did not think about how much of a crap bag move it was, and quickly fixed it because it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But all right, Alabama is the best.
I agree,
Zach Billy, they are. Thank you for hanging out with us. All right, let's talk a little bit about this Root Lord. I'm going to bring it back up. All right, Elijah Haven, you guys know the name, 5-star quarterback. He's been predicted to Alabama via all the major agencies for a while, along with Marshawn Sales. Antoine Jackson, we did lose the Jabarius Garor commitment. He had been committed to Alabama for a very, very long time. Jeff and I Jeff, were you with me or was it?
No,
Jacob?
you, I was not. I was at work that night.
It was Jacob. We actually got to sit down with Jabarius last fall, and he told us he was going to keep his recruitment open. There were other options he was looking at. He was committed to Alabama, but he was going to take OVs different places. He just came off of an OV back in January. It remains to be seen if he's still going to keep his scheduled official visit. I believe it's in June to Alabama. But right now, Antoine Jackson, a lot of folks were like, we traded a top 10 edge for this guy. Antoine Jackson is a rising star. This kid is going to be very, very good before it's all said and done. It's going to be a lot like the Keelan Russell find that the staff had. Remember when he was only a 3-star quarterback in his class? Antoine Jackson.
SMU commit?
Yeah. Antoine Jackson is already starting to catch a lot of attention and he's going to shoot up the recruiting boards. But he's not going to be the only edge that Alabama wants to go get. Have it on pretty good authority that Alabama wants to get a few edges in this class. They are targeting Anthony Sweeney and KJ Green. KJ Green will be in Tuscaloosa this weekend. 5-star edge out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. And then that's for an unofficial. He just came off of an unofficial to Texas. He will take an official visit to Alabama later this summer. But official visits are starting up quick. Now, Alabama, this week, the good news is that they got a prediction via Steve Wiltfong over there at On3 to land 4-star defensive lineman Mitchell Turner. Turner is the number 6 defensive lineman in the country. He's a big dude, could definitely look good in kind of that 3 technique. We're waiting to hear the actual commitment, but he has been predicted to Alabama. So we added him to the Whoop board.
Is he more of an interior?
Yeah. He's going to need to put on a little bit of weight, and they'll be able to do it. I think he's at 275 right now, but he's, I think he had 40 tackles for a loss or something like that last season. It might just be tackles. I can't remember. I was looking at his stats yesterday, but I did a whole video on him, so you can check that out. Really exciting, but that's what's going on in the recruiting world. It's starting to heat up big time. Alabama will make a very strong push over the summer. Still working on getting some more recruit interviews. We did Trent Seaborn, about 2 months ago. He was on with us, and now he's everywhere all of a sudden. Trendsetters right here, just saying. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's going to get clipped. But anyway, so we're working on some more recruiting interviews with you for you guys. We'll have them here live. So
keep in mind, we had one set up and then he no-showed. So you just never know. We'll do our part and then they could just not show up.
Yeah, so that happens. Yeah, Avery and Paulie
that can happen too.
Absolutely stood me up. I was just sitting there like the little Dutch kid with my finger in the hole waiting. But he's actually he's probably getting added to the Woot board here pretty soon himself. So it looks like things are trending in Alabama's favor for him. There are several positions of need for Alabama in this class, but for me, defensive linemen, that edge rushing position are kind of the big ones. Alabama's also trending for Nigel Newkirk, a 4-star running back out of Gainesville High School. They kind of got a leg up on the situation because Mr. Xavier Griffin and Jamarian Matthews, who played in high school with him, are at Alabama. Jay actually talked about Newkirk with us a couple of weeks ago when she was on. She says she's working on him. So she's talking to him and she's trying to get him in crimson. I see her. She's also talking to John Meredith a lot, trying to get him to make that final decision to end up at Alabama.
She's burning recruiting trails up.
As she is.
Trent Morgan would be proud.
Yeah, Trent's recruiting. All of them are, man. It's great. So Alabama's got a good staff and they've got good families.
They must be doing something right if these guys are wanting their friends to come there to play with them.
All right, Marshawn Sales is what we need.
Yeah,
Jay Money. Oh, I do want to. Yeah, this was something that is absolutely true. That I didn't want to go too far in the weeds in, but yeah, his size is starting to become an issue. Yeah, I agree with you. You're 1,000% on. Ken, I see your comment under it, but you're absolutely right. Nicholas, what's going on, man? Yeah, I was in there chatting it up with Clint today. So
was that live?
Yeah.
I wasn't people.
I wasn't on.
Kidding me?
I wasn't on. I was in the chat.
Oh, I thought you were on the show with him. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I knew. So I'm trying to figure out how to say this without causing an issue. So there were some folks that posted some things on social media yesterday that I don't think Clint agreed with. And I kind of wanted to see. I learned a lot by watching Clint Lamb, just how to handle this business and things like that. Sorry, Clint. I kind of look at you as a mentor. Apologize, you're stuck with us. But so I'll hop into his lives, and I'll hop into his chat and just kind of see how he's handling certain situations. And so it was interesting because he took the conversation live. In fact, we kind of talked about it a little bit with the running backs. And so I was really interested to get his thoughts in that. So I hopped in the live for about 30 minutes to listen to what he had to say. And I agree with just about everything he said for sure. So
if you disagree with Clint about something, you better have a very good reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you better have receipts to back it up.
Yeah. He messaged me one time. I was like, Alabama fans are pissed off about this. I posted it X and he messaged me. He was like, I'm not seeing that anywhere. Where are you? I was like, just 1 second. So I went and screenshotted all like the short comments where everybody's mad about something. And I'm going to send it to him. I was like, I'm not making shit up just for, I'm not making stuff up just so people will click. I promise. These folks are angry. They're mad.
Doesn't take much.
So, but
no, it doesn't take much to make them angry at all.
That's right, Nick. We're going to talk a lot of recruiting this summer. I see everybody saying Marshawn Sales. I'll work on it. You guys do have to remember that some of these bigger athletes like Sales are a little bit harder to get a hold of. And it's not as easy as sending a DM and talking to them. So I have to go through other channels, but can definitely try to see what we can do. I also don't want to do anything that's going to piss off the staff at Alabama. So I always try to make sure that's why Jeff and I don't press them about where they're going to commit or anything like that. And so
try to keep it a very casual, friendly conversation.
Yeah. If you remember, we had Nick Abrams on last fall too, and he ended up going to Georgia. It was basically between Alabama and Georgia. He ended up going there.
That was a good interview though. And you did a great job with that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
But it's a fine line when you're interviewing guys that aren't committed yet, because in your mind, you want to say, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody roll tide or something like that. Yeah. Or you want to kind of press him for where he's leaning, but it's a very fine line. You got to walk there.
Yeah. Jay said it best when she was on. She was like, a lot of these people that invite you on these shows don't have your best interests at heart. And she's 1,000% right. And so thank gosh, man, we got that opportunity, because I, consider them friends of the show now and fantastic people. So fraternizing with the enemy. He wasn't the enemy yet, Ken. He was still uncommitted, but I wouldn't have him on now. I see his TikToks. And so
I do not.
I
do not see his TikToks.
You're a better man for not seeing. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Nick, if you're watching this. We appreciate your time you spent with us, but you're on the other side of the fence now.
Yeah.
Go bark at somebody else. So anyway, Jeff.
FC Randy.
All right, man. Do you have any hot takes before we leave? This is kind of like the thing now, so I feel like we have to do it. Oh, okay. I'll work on it, Kim. Also, keep in mind with players, it's a little harder because the university too, with active players, they're very strict about who they let them talk to. Jeff and I are working on media rights with the university. It's we're working on the media packet now. It's just a matter of finding time. That's like a huge undertaking, and it's just him and I. So we haven't really had the time to put that together, but yeah, we're working on that too, man. So
we can.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
We both have full-time jobs.
Yeah, we do. We do. All right. I think it's time for some hot takes. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I bet the chat, or we could just let chat give us their hot takes for the 2026 college football season or the tournament. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Chat, this is your hot take section. We want the good stuff. Put it in the chat right now.
So hot.
Every time. Hot tamale time. Yes, sir. Agree with you. Oh, we got some big ones right off the bat. Rammer Jammer Alex, first and foremost, thank you for being a Waaaay Offsides member. He says Sadarian Morgan takes over at wide receiver number 1. I don't know about that, but at the same time,
takes it over from who? That's a better question.
Yeah, is there really an established wide receiver 1 right now? So maybe that's where you're operating. You know what I mean?
I like this one, Jay Money. Meadows will have at least one big game this season. I agree.
Where's it at? Bring it up.
Oh, here we go. It's a little
bit further down. All right. Meadows will have at least. I hope so, man. I hope so. His recruitment was an absolute barn burner. He was committed to LSU and then flipped at the last minute to Alabama. I hope that he absolutely gets his opportunity this year. Another big guy, one of those classic DeBoer wide receivers that he likes so much. So, all right, let's see who else we got. Virginia wins it all. Are you talking basketball here?
Sure,
I would imagine so, yes. All right, Hunter, another one. Hot take, LSU has at least 4 losses this season before the playoffs. I can get behind this. I do think Lane Kiffin's going to win a national championship at LSU. He almost got Ole Miss there. Ole Miss, without the resources he has at LSU. But I think Lane Kiffin is going to have to recruit from the high school level to do it. I think he's going to learn that this year because of what you're saying. I think this whole let's go get guys from all over the place, throw them in the same locker room, guys like Jordan Seaton, throw them in the same locker room, pay them millions and millions of dollars and win a national title. I don't think it's going to work this season for him. Texas too. I don't think either one of those are going to work.
No, the formula isn't buying all your roster in the portal isn't the formula. That's been proven.
Agreed.
But this was my original hot take was that LSU was going to be like Texas this year. A lot of hype. And I will also say that Lane Kiffin will only win one championship at LSU. He will not win multiples.
Really?
If he wins one, he's going to the NFL.
You think so?
I'm telling you, he's going to wind up back in the NFL if he's successful at LSU for a 3 or 4 year run. If he goes 30-6 in 3 years at LSU and makes a deep playoff run in those 3 years or wins a ring, somebody in the NFL is going to hire him, and he'll go back to the NFL in a snap. I think personally, he's only 54 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, shoot. And Nick Saban will tell him the difference. Nick Saban will tell him, but something inside Lane's going to be like, I was embarrassed the last time I was in the NFL, and I want another shot.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to shoot through the rest of these really quick. Cat with a good one. My hot take is Holloway pulls a Pringle and shows up second game. All right, cool.
That'd be a bad look. I don't know.
At this point, at this point, it would be rough. But
at this point, I'm like, move on without him.
I don't know that this is a hot take. I think this is actually realistic.
Forget if we beat Hofstra, Texas Tech lost their best player. He's out. They ain't no coming back for him. So they're going to be down one. They'll be down a key guy too. So we can win 2 games without Holloway.
Fair enough.
I don't think we can win 6 games without him.
Ken, the Bama fan, Jaira Edwards overtakes senior Kean Sabb at safety. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. Like I said, that safety position is probably the most difficult way Jaira Edwards is going to see the field. But if he is as good as he looks, God, I don't know how to say that without it sounding romantic. But if he's as good as he looks in terms of physicality, it could happen. Absolutely could happen.
I mean, the best player is going to play. And if by week 6, Jaira Edwards has clearly shown he's the best player, he's going to play.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Now, they're not going to waste a shrimp by throwing it at him. They'll just throw a rock at him and eat the
We
shrimp.
we should take a prop bet on what he gets thrown at him when Ole Miss goes to Baton Rouge. Or is LSU going to Ole Miss?
No, LSU goes to Ole Miss.
That's going to be the game this season to watch, man. That's going to be
He may coach that one from the booth.
Brilliant. Hot take.
I don't know if that's a hot take, Nicholas.
Kroll will end up in the – no, that's not a hot take.
He's going to.
Kroll is exactly what this staff is looking at. He's got the intangibles that they're looking for. Again, he's got the intangibles that they went to the portal looking for. He's young, but he's going to be a significant contributor at some point in time this year. Significant.
Agreed. Absolutely agree.
That's a good point. Bama definitely does not play defense. So
I don't know why Nate emphasizes defense, but this squad this year hadn't locked down defensively like ones in the past.
Ooh. Justin Hill over 8 sacks. I could see that. We talked a couple of videos ago. I felt like Alabama was going to do some interesting things this year with Justin Hill. He's going to play a lot more than you think. There's a lot of talk coming out of the program about how good he's looking right now. What'll be interesting is to see Kane Womack figure out ways to get him and Yanze Pierre on the field at the same time. Mm-hmm. That could be an absolute thriller to watch. Can you imagine that, man? Having an account for Yanze Pierre and Justin Hill, if Justin Hill is taking that next step.
Ooh.
Another kid, before we go, this is my hot take. Now, I'm cautious about hyping somebody up, but I think that Rico Scott might take the next step. I think Rico Scott might be, in terms of guys who are coming back for Alabama, might be the most complete wide receiver Alabama has in the room in 2026. I am really excited about him. I think that there's a lot of parts of his game that he has been working on very hard during the offseason that are going to show, and he is going to get many opportunities. He can be physical. He's got that top end speed. He can win the 50-50 balls. Rico Scott is a player I definitely want you guys to watch out for this year.
I agree. And I think he's got something to prove. I think he'll come in with something to prove. Once again, starting running backs, relative term. I mean,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, not at Alabama anymore. All right, Jeff, we've been over an hour. I think it's time to wrap it up. I want to say thank you to everybody. It's been a fantastic week.
Quick update. North Carolina got beat. Not sure how far you had North Carolina going.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I picked against them first. I'll look when we're done.
Yeah, VCU taking out UNC. I did not have that one.
Yep. You ain't kidding. That's true. So, all right, guys, do me a favor. Like I said earlier, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. When you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we go live, whenever we post shorts, whenever we post uploads, which we do shorts and uploads every single day. A lot of really good information in those. Jeff and I like to just get on live and kind of goof around and talk to you guys randomly.
So, hey, if you haven't gotten a notification from us, go turn your notifications off, turn them back on, because we're putting stuff out daily.
Exactly. Tell your friends and coworkers about us. I'll be at A-Day. Jeff, you going to A-Day?
I don't know.
You should.
I didn't even know. I didn't know you were going.
Yeah, man. I'm going to come up. I got to play it by ear a little bit and see how everything's going medically, but I should be up.
That'll
Should
be good.
absolutely be up. So be a good time. So we'll look for you guys out there at Bryant-Denny Stadium for A-Day. Yeah, man. As always, thank you guys. This is your show. We really try to let your comments drive it. You guys are fantastic. A lot of positive stuff from each and every one of you in these chats, these comment sections of videos. We could not do this without you guys. Y'all seriously make this so much fun for Jeff and I. Seriously. So thank you.
Appreciate y'all. We
Absolutely.
do. And we almost had 100 people tonight on the tournament night. So I thank y'all
slow
again.
night, but still good. Slow night, but still good. So
Thank y'all again. We had like 57 at one point in the YouTube chat.
yeah, it'll pick back up once we get through spring football, as it always does. So with that being said, as always, folks, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide, guys.
Roll Tide.